Howdy, Training Force Podcast. It's me, Odin, this time, and we are talking to Dawn of War 3, which I had to kick Mitch out for this one because I wanted to talk about this game because it's one of my favorite. Dawn of War 2 is one of my favorite games. I put a ton of hours into it. I'm so sorry, I forgot your name. I'm so excited.
It's all good. I'm Caro, and I'm a game designer on DAO 3.
Awesome. So I just played about 45 minutes of Dawn of War 3. So that's the Space Marine, like an early mission or something like that.
Well, that's actually a late mission.
I guess
late
I should have thought about that
mission.
because we had that huge mech.
Yeah.
Sonya.
Solaria.
Solaria, that's
the
it.
Imperial Knight, yeah.
The Imperial Knight, which is one of the coolest things. I was looking at all that, and in the last game, it's a squad-based RTS, which is a little bit different from a lot of other RTSs,
yeah.
or plays a lot more like Company of Heroes and stuff like that. But you have, for each squad, the second game really focused on like a commander of each squad that you moved around with and leveled up in between each mission and everything. Is this one going to have roughly the same kind of feel to it, or are we moving more to just, because I saw they had them on the side there where I could drop them in at any time. Yeah. Is that how it's going to feel now?
So there's in a part of it. So what we're doing with Dawn of War 3 is really going back to the roots and looking what was best in Dawn of War 1, what was the absolute best in Dawn of War 2, and bringing those forward. What those are is from Dawn of War 1, the bases that allowed players to build massive armies. So base building is something that we're bringing back. And from Dawn of War 2, we really love the heroes, and fans love them as well. So we're bringing them forward as well. What we're doing differently is exploring the synergies between those two. Is how can your heroes feel awesome around the rest of your army, and how can they collaborate to kick lots of ass?
Awesome.
In addition to that, like you saw in the demo, we have super abilities for all the three armies and super units, the most badass that we've made ever.
For sure. So the only thing I was a little disappointed about was I didn't get Terminator units and everything. Are those only going to be drop-ins, or is it because I got that one on the side, that one group of Terminators? Are you going to be able to build them, or are they only going to be upgradable?
No, so you can build them. You basically bring 3 elite units into the battlefield, and you can deploy them at any time. So in order to deploy them, you need a resource which we call elite points. Elite points are gained in a time basis, and the different elites have different elite point costs. So in this mission, you started with already Gabriel Angelos and Solaria, but if you started from scratch, you would need to look at your points and then drop the elite units when you need them. So as a player, you're constantly making the choice of, do I want my early game units, or do I want to save up for my late game units? In the case of the Terminators, they cost, I think, 7 elite points. So once you save up for that, you can deploy them into the field.
Awesome. And so I'm assuming the story's still going to follow Gabriel like it did in the last one, or are we going to move on to somebody else?
So the story actually, yes, it of course features Gabriel Angelos, but it also features the two other leaders of the warring factions. So the story, to give you an idea, takes place in Acheron, that frozen planet, and it's said to be the home to a very mythical and mysterious weapon. And it gets the attention of the 3 factions, Eldar, Space Marines, and Orcs, and in particular of their 3 leaders. So that's the leader Maka, who's a Farseer, Gabriel Angelos, who's an absolute badass, we have it right here, and Gorguts, who's a greedy warlord. So those 3 heroes bring their armies into this planet in their search for this weapon and supremacy, and in the midst of it, they just get in endless escalating battles. However, when they actually find that weapon, it reveals a much larger threat.
So the 3 playable races right off the bat are just going to be Orc, Eldar, and Space Marine. Yeah. Are you planning DLC to bring in Tyranids or Tau or anything like that at later points, or is that something you can't talk to yet?
For now, we're focused on building the Space Marines, Eldar, and Orcs to the best quality. Like that, the mission that you just played is an amazing example of what we're going to ship with. We're focusing on getting a very rich game in terms of story, in terms of units, in terms of abilities. So that's what you're going to be seeing at launch.
Awesome, awesome. I'm super excited to play all 3 races. I beat 2 in every way I could. Well, a quick question I have is Last Stand coming back, or are you guys going to have anything similar to that?
So for now, we're really focused on getting the amazing single-player experience and multiplayer for players. In terms of multiplayers, we can't share too many details, but what you can expect is an experience similar to what you just experienced in campaign. A massive army in synergy with the rest of your elite units against somebody else's amazing army. So that's what we're focusing on.
Awesome. So a lot more like Dawn of War 1's multiplayer, where you dropped in and each had a base to build and then fight each other.
It's very reflective of what you played in this.
Awesome, awesome. Super excited for all of that. Where can people go to find out more about Dawn of War 3?
Go to our website and go check our forums, check our Twitter and Facebook accounts. It's absolutely awesome.
Awesome. Thank you.